Yes, a very good afternoon, all of you. I hope I am clearly visible and audible. Please confirm. Please confirm once. Yes. I hope both Saral sir and I are visible and I'm audible to you. Good afternoon. Okay, great. Sorry for the delay. There was some glitch. Right. I welcome you to this MAH CET analysis. Right. So today we had another day, another slot, and fortunately, I think things were easy. That's what we gathered from your chats. We could read your chats while you could not see us. Right. So hope the paper went great for you. Let's begin the discussion. Over to you, Saral sir. Let's walk them through the paper once.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Hello. Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Am I audible to all of you? Before I start, just confirm it once to me that is everything okay. We are really sorry for the delay. There was some technical issues, but now I hope everything should be fine. So very quickly, I'm eagerly waiting for it that you guys just tell me, am I audible or not, so that I can discuss the paper with you. I myself have appeared for the paper, so I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, all of you. Nimisha says yes, Muskan says yes, Vaibhav says yes, Kinjal says yes. Great. That's great. Okay. So I think we should start now. So as when we were talking about the exam yesterday, तब भी हम लोगों ने शायद इसके बारे में बात की थी. वो ये the exam pattern was extremely difficult yesterday with respect to the day before. I mean, of course, वैसे तो महाराष्ट्र सीटी कभी भी extremely difficult होता ही नहीं है, लेकिन जो कल का एग्जाम था वो परसों के मुकाबले बहुत डिफिकल्ट था. And we discussed about these things as well कि कल के ही जो दोनों slots थे उसमें भी there was a lot of difference, right? In the morning we had no questions on number system or very few questions. In the evening set we have 22 questions on number system. And we discussed about this in detail कि rather मजाक में हम लोगों ने ये भी बोला था कल शायद हम geography भी expect कर सकते हैं कि कुछ भी हो सकता है. And exactly the same kind of thing happened. Not that geography came in the paper, लेकिन इतना जरूर हुआ. अगर आप लोगों ने आज देखा होगा जितनी भी लोगों ने अपना एग्जाम दिया है, extremely easy paper, extremely easy. I mean, of course, I can't say much about verbal ability. उसके बारे में निकिता मैम ज्यादा अच्छा बताएंगे, लेकिन LR की जहां तक बात है, क्वांटिटेटिव एबिलिटी की जहां तक बात है, एनालिटिकल रीजनिंग की जहां तक बात है, some of the questions were direct. I mean, उसको मैंने बेसिक भी नहीं बोला. उसको जब मैंने पीपीटी प्रिपेयर कर रहा था मैंने लिखा अल्ट्रा बेसिक्स. I mean, basic होता है कि जहां पे I mean in a question of time, speed and distance, let us say he would give you the distance and then he give you that in half of the distance this was the speed, for the remaining half of the distance what should be the speed. वो तो होता है बेसिक. लेकिन ये तो अल्ट्रा बेसिक है ना कि एक आदमी 300 मीटर्स कवर कर रहा है 5 मिनट्स में. सो व्हाट इज द स्पीड इन किलोमीटर पर आवर, है ना. और आपने देखे होंगे ऐसे 3-4 क्वेश्चंस आए हैं. There were questions like these as well, जहां पे वो आपसे ये पूछ रहा है A can do a job in 12 days, B can do a job in 15 days, together they can do it in how many days. इस तरह के questions भी, और एक नहीं, दो नहीं, तीन questions. Which of the following is not a leap year? ये भी question हमारे एग्जाम में आ गया. I mean, इतने easy questions. So I actually found it extremely easy. But एक बार फिर भी इसके डिस्कस करते हैं इसके बारे में क्या क्या था क्या नहीं था. Let's start with the highlights of it. So overall difficulty level, in my opinion, it was very easy, except a very few areas. The questions were, I mean, damn on the easier side. I मेरे ख्याल से out of 200, I would say approximately 180 questions would be put in the category of easy, right? The remaining 20 you can put in moderate or slightly above moderate, 1 or 2 questions, but at least 180 questions were in the easy category. Easier than, of course, yesterday's paper, rather I would say much easier. शायद easier भी word यहाँ पे गलत है. Errors in 2-3 questions were there. In my opinion, शायद आप लोग भी मेरे से questions भी discuss कीजिएगा. I would want to discuss those questions because I have appeared for the paper. सारे 200 question मैंने देखे भी हैं, तो कुछ questions के शायद मैं आंसर भी आप लोगों से मैच कर पाऊं. तो कुछ क्वेश्चन जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल द क्वेश्चन व्हिच वाज ऑन पजल्स, आपको याद होगा जिसमें एजेस की और हाइट के बारे में बात हो रही थी. देयर वर 5 क्वेश्चंस ऑन दैट वन सिंगल सेट. In my opinion, that set was not correct. In my opinion, there was something missing. because 3-4 questions के answer cannot be determined नहीं आते. So out of 5 questions, I think 3 questions had an answer of cannot be determined. One had an answer of either B or D, and one had an answer like all of them are incorrect. तो generally इस तरह के answers मेरे ख्याल से नहीं होते. So I found something was missing in that set. Moreover, there were a few more questions जिसमें मुझे लगा कम से कम मेरा तो आंसर मैच नहीं कर रहा था. I tried twice or thrice. तो to the best of my knowledge मैंने कुछ आंसर दिया कुछ questions में, but I genuinely felt that some of the questions were wrong, right? And again, it was a jumbled paper, but the better part is that section wise it was not jumbled, as it has been done before as well. आप लोगों को याद होगा हमने कल बात की थी that LR के sets में there was one set from which one question would be question number 10, one would be 15, one would be 25, but this time it was not there. All questions were together, so all 10 questions of RC were together, all 5 questions of the second RC were together, LR के GI के इस तरीके से process चल रहा, right? So I repeat, am I audible to all of you? Because I see a lot less chats in the chat box. Generally मतलब ऐसे time पे थोड़ा सा मैंने देखा है enthusiasm थोड़ा high पे होता है, and you try to discuss all the questions through chat box. लेकिन यहाँ मैं देख रहा हूँ बहुत ही कम लोगों के जवाब आ रहे हैं, आपस में बातचीत हो रही है. टिंडर बना दिया तुमने. मुझे बताओ जरा एक बार कि क्या बातचीत हो रही है, किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस थे, उसके बारे में कुछ आइडिया दो, क्या हुआ है क्या नहीं हुआ है. सो जो बातें मैं बोल रहा हूँ आर दोज ऑल करेक्ट और नॉट, कुछ सेट आपके हिसाब से भी गलत थे कि नहीं थे, तो ये सब बताते चलिएगा साथ के साथ. ओके. Yes, when I talk about the paper pattern, of course, there was no change, but these are the exact number of questions which were there, as you can see on your screen. 70 questions in logical reasoning. I mean, some people might say नहीं 68 थे, some people might say 72 थे. ऐसा हो सकता है कि आप थोड़ा सा इसमें ऊपर नीचे लेके चले, because कुछ questions logical reasoning के ऐसे होते हैं, you can put them into abstract reasoning as well. Some of the questions are there which can be put into verbal ability as well. अगर मेरे पास मान लीजिए क्वेश्चंस इस तरह के हैं जो वर्बल एनालॉजी पे हैं, अब मुझे कई बार लगता है कि इसको लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में डालूं कि एब्स्ट्रैक्ट में डालूं कि इसको वर्बल में डालूं, तो कहीं भी पुट किए जा सकते हैं. सम ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस कैन बी पुट इन क्वांटिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड एज वेल. तो इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस भी थे. सो दैट्स कंप्लीटली अप टू यू, वेयर डू यू वांट टू पुट, बट मोर और लेस इट वाज लाइक दिस ओनली. 70 क्वेश्चंस लॉजिकल रीजनिंग, 24 क्वेश्चंस ऑन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट रीजनिंग, 48 questions in quantitative aptitude including DI, 16 questions जो 10 questions जो DI के आए उसको मिला के. अब ये भी आप लोगों को याद होगा कल हमने जब बात की थी DI पे there were 16 questions in slot 2. Today we had only 10, and both of them were bar graph based questions. And verbal ability, reading comprehension में 58 questions were there, so total 200. पेपर पैटर्न में ऑलमोस्ट नो चेंज, उसी तरह की चीजें हैं सारी की सारी. ठीक है. सो यस, एनीथिंग दैट यू वांट टू से गाइस? नाउ आई सी दैट यू हैव स्टार्टेड स्पीकिंग एट लीस्ट इन द चैट बॉक्स. इंग्लिश वाज हेवीली आस्क्ड. 58 है हेवीली आस्क्ड, तो वैसे तो 200 के 200 इंग्लिश में थे, बट प्रोबेबली यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट VARC सेक्शन, है ना. हाँ, वो थोड़ा सा 50 के बजाय 58 को हैवी कह सकते हो आप. दैट्स पॉसिबल. ओके, 700 इज द आंसर. प्रोबेबली यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट लीप ईयर क्वेश्चन, है ना. तो लीप ईयर वाले का आंसर 700 था. दैट इज करेक्ट. ओके, so now we'll move ahead and we'll start with verbal ability. Of course, why would I talk about it when we have Nikita ma'am here? So she will take you through this.
Thank you, sir. So can you show the table?
It's there.
Right. So 2 RC passages were asked today, and sir told me that one of the passages was really short, just 50 odd words. So that's not really an RC passage, that's a paragraph. And based on that paragraph, you had to answer 5 questions. So of course, you needed to comprehend that paragraph really well. It was about why an author writes a book. So I have been told again that the questions were not very difficult. However, yes, the options were close, so comprehension mattered, right? So if you understood the RC passages, then the RC passages section, I mean, if I categorize it as a separate area, that was not very difficult in today's paper. Just that the second RC was relatively lengthier, growth and development in the world with a special emphasis on India. It was relatively lengthier, but again, see, when the questions are easy and when all the other questions also happen to be relatively easy, I think you had ample time to give 2 RC passages, and within, I think, a short amount of time, you would have been able to go through all the other questions as well. Now, one word substitution did have some close options, right? So there you needed to spend a bit of time on elimination. And if I talk about synonym antonyms. Then again, a couple of questions had close options, but apart from that, even these were high frequency words, as we call them, easy words. So entice, charm, these are not really difficult words, right? Spot the errors. So see, to be honest, I always find error spotting easier than sentence correction. So it's great that spot the errors was asked today. You just had to spot the errors. You didn't have to worry about correcting the sentences. Then apart from that, yes, I've been told that sentences asked superlatives along with the adjective more, right? So you know that with superlatives, we do not put more. So that was very easy to attempt. Then more prettier, more better. I think I've discussed this in at least 3 sessions, that this is a cardinal sin in English. When you say more prettier, more better. If you want to highlight the degree, you should say much better, much prettier, but never more better. That's using 2 comparatives at the same time. So this question was asked again on the easier side. Apart from that, yes, analogy question was there. So 4 analogy questions, but again, not very difficult, right? So analogies have a potential to be difficult, but fortunately in your exam, they weren't, right? Then odd word out, was it asked today? Yes, odd one out was also asked. Again, Saral sir told me that there were questions where, 4 of the options talked about medical sciences, whereas 1 was seismology. So of course, seismology was the answer there. That was the odd one out, right? And apart from that, do I see anything else? No, apart from that, pretty much an easy VARC section. In the previous session, only students came into the chat box and told me that, the English section was pretty easy. So really happy with today's paper. But yes, accordingly, if it's easy for everybody. So accordingly, the cutoffs can go higher. That's always there, right? So I think that's it from my end for the VARC section. So you can take over.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Aishwarya is talking about a question that we have to find out the odd one out of this. Books, pages, pen, pencil, sharpener. What is your take on this?
Book, pages. Okay, so pen, pencil, sharpener is stationery. I think pages should be the odd word out here. Because book, pen, pencil, sharpener, I think I can put it in the category of stationery. But pages is specifically a part of a book.
Yes.
I think so.
That's right. Okay. So let's move on now. Talk about the other section, that is logical reasoning. Let's start with that. And as I'm saying that I would be happy to discuss the questions if you guys are ready to do that. So please just remind me any of these questions. For example, Muskan is talking about it now. Criminal, thief, and judge. There was a question which was based upon Venn diagrams. So that was still easy because we can say that of course, a judge can be a criminal as well. But in my opinion, here he is trying to say a criminal and thief is different from a judge. Is that correct, Nikita ma'am? Am I right here? I mean, a judge can be a criminal. So if you have to make a Venn diagram for criminal, thief, and judge, how would you make it?
Thief should be a part of criminal. I understand that a judge can be a criminal, but I think in the exam, if let's say this option were there, that thief was a part of criminal.
I also went with this, that this should be the thief, this should be the criminal, and this should be the judge. Is it correct?
In the kind of world that we want to live in, the judge should not be a criminal.
Of course. Logically, we can say a judge can be a criminal as well, but probably here they are trying to say this only when they say judge specifically. Probably they are saying that judge which is not a criminal, who is not a criminal, right? So that's what they are trying. Okay, so when I talk about logical reasoning, as I told you, there were around 70 questions in logical reasoning, 5 questions from puzzles. If you guys remember that A, B, C, D, E, 5 people were there. They were arranged on the basis of their height and their ages. I found this question has some data missing, in my opinion. कुछ ना कुछ तो missing था इसके अंदर. आप लोगों को भी शायद ऐसा लगा होगा. Input output was an easy question because in this he was just putting alphabetically all the words and the numbers as well. So first of all, they'll take alphabetically the latest word, then they would take the smallest number, then the second latest word, then the second smallest number, and that way they were putting them. I'm sure that aap logon ne bhi ye dekha hoga. So this was going on, so that made it pretty easy. Coding, decoding based questions, again, they were pretty easy because they were simply like, if father is coded as this, so F plus 1, A plus 1, T plus 1, something like that was given. So other questions as well. But yes, I found one of the questions a bit difficult, jo us tarah ki coding hoti hai na, A space A, B, B, then again B, space AC, AC. So but there were two questions on this. I found one of them was slightly easy, but the other one was difficult in my opinion, right? Blood relation based questions, again, all of them were easy except one question in which again I had a doubt. Probably the answer given was brother, but the answer should not be brother in my opinion. तो यहाँ भी मुझे थोड़ा सा डाउट हुआ इस क्वेश्चन पे. Direction based questions, again they were all easy. Analogy based questions were easy. Venn diagram में there is one question in which we still have a doubt. That question is about nitrogen, ice and air. So we also have divided opinions over this. So we don't know what exactly should be the answer given by Maharashtra CET. Then syllogism based questions were good. I would not rate them easy. I would say two of the questions were quite tricky, and odd one out easy again, and clocks and calendars both easy. I probably remember the answers as well. 155° was the answer for the question of clocks, and 700 was the answer for the question from leap years, right? So if you guys remember any more questions, as I say, कि एक बार मुझे बताइएगा जरूर प्लीज दोबारा. आपको अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चन याद है तो just remind us once. We can discuss the answers as well. For example, directions वाले में मुझे याद है, one of the questions he asked कि from which direction the person was coming. So I think the answer for that question was south. कि किस डायरेक्शन से आ रहा था. That was a little tricky, तो मुझे इसलिए याद है कि इस तरह का क्वेश्चन उन्होंने पूछा था. In blood relations, one question had an answer of cousins. I don't remember the third question though, right? There was one question which was wrong, of course, as we discussed. Or analogies, maybe I think there was some question for which the answer was chauffeur. बाकी फिर भी मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा. आप लोग अगर याद दिलाएंगे तो शायद याद आ पाएंगे. हम लोगों की उम्र वैसे भी ज्यादा हो चुकी है. We don't remember things too much now. Okay, but there was a major surprise. That major surprise was that no question on games and tournaments. No question on games and tournaments. Yesterday we had one slot having a question on games and tournaments from actual CAT paper in slot 1, and in slot 2 again we had a question from games and tournaments, again from previous year CAT. But this year no question from games and tournaments. As I said, pretty easy. Okay, ye bhi easy. Data was missing in questions on puzzles, and one question on blood relations was wrong. This I have already told you. There were 8 questions on number series. I feel that all of the questions were easy. In one of the questions, we just have to find out that which are the multiples of 3. In one of the questions, it was the cubes plus 2. In one of the questions, it was like, I mean, probably some square or something, 5 times of something, ऐसा कुछ करके दिया हुआ था. So 2 questions in which one of them you have to calculate the number of triangles in the given figure. And one question was there in which you had to find out the number of straight lines by which that figure can be made, right? Miscellaneous में I have put 22 questions because there were so many questions which probably you cannot put in any of the categories. Questions based upon symbols, आपको याद होगा सभी लोगों को. There was a set of 5-6 questions where some symbols were given, right? And then he asked you that how many numbers are there before which there should be a symbol, after which there should not be a letter, something like that. फिर एक और क्वेश्चन का सेट था हमारे पास जिसमें it was given that A stands for addition, M stands for subtraction, then T stands for something and something. So that way it was given as, right? Okay, let's move on. यहाँ से आगे बढ़ते हैं. इसके बाद the next is abstract reasoning questions based upon figures. We had 9 questions based upon pattern, 3 questions on mirror image or water image. Next one in the series was asked कि अगला नंबर क्या आएगा. Odd one out 2 थे, embedded figures 2 थे और miscellaneous 3 थे. But yes, I found this thing quite different for the first time probably in any of the exams. आप लोगों ने भी देखा होगा जहाँ पे a grid was given, and in that grid the question has given you 9 figures, rather 8 figures, and he was asking you what can be the 9th figure. So generally I have not seen such questions in abstract reasoning. For the first time probably I saw this. Okay, so there were 11 triangles. No, Aishwarya, in my opinion there were 14 triangles. एक बार आप दोबारा चेक कीजिएगा. जहां तक मुझे याद है आंसर मेरा 14 आया. Okay, फिर भी एक बार चेक कीजिएगा. So 12 हो सकता है, yes, शायद मुझे याद ना हो, because एक तो क्वेश्चन था about the number of lines. तो शायद जो number of lines था that had an answer of 12 or 14, or the other one had an answer of 14. कुछ ऐसा ही था, शायद एक का 12 एक का 14. not clearly remember that. Okay. Okay. So I'll move ahead from here. So new type of questions based upon figures, as I just told you, but now comes the most important portion, that is quantitative aptitude and DI. Most important for me, of course. निकिता मैम नाराज हो जाएंगे, अच्छा VAR से important नहीं है, ठीक है? तो QA and DI of course becomes an important topic. I found it very easy. There was no question probably जिसमें आपको थोड़ा सा भी ऐसा लगा हो कि हाँ ये तो क्वेश्चन चैलेंजिंग है, राइट? आप लोगों को भी शायद ऐसा महसूस हुआ हो. There was no challenging question throughout. कोई challenging question नहीं था. Okay? Rather, some of the questions were extremely easy. So let's start talking about it. Arithmetic questions, 2 or 3 of them were very easy. As I said, ultra basics. ठीक है? मैंने इस पे लिख भी दिया है. Same concept, different values. ऐसे questions, 3 question इस तरह के थे जहां पे वो ये कह रहा है A can do a job in these days, B can do a job in these days. Together they can do the job in how many days? इस तरह के questions. Similarly, questions from time, speed and distance we had to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second or vice versa. So इस तरह के questions आपको given थे, बहुत basic level के questions. But the most important part, yesterday we saw 21 questions from number system in one of these slots. 21. And today we saw only 4 questions in the slot. 30 questions from arithmetic, no question from algebra, no question from geometry, and 3 questions from modern mathematics, out of which 1 was from probability and 2 questions were from permutation and combination. Right? That made a total of 38 questions. Apart from that, we had 10 questions from DI as well, if you guys remember that. And again, all of the questions were easy. I repeat, आप में से कोई भी question ही discuss नहीं कर रहा है. If you discuss the questions, probably I can talk about the answers as well. शायद या तो आप लोगों को लग रहा होगा कोई question ऐसा था ही नहीं discuss करने लायक. The only slightly difficult question was probably जो हमारा वो था compound interest वाला. I think that had an answer of 121. Apart from that, all questions were anyways easy. बहुत आसान से question थे, उसमें किसी में कोई doubt नहीं रहा होगा. I would be happy to discuss any questions if I see in the chat box. If there is no such question, then I'll move on. Okay. So that was all about the exam, guys. So as I said, the DI के 10 questions graph based थे, और जहां तक cutoffs की बात है, when you talk about cutoffs of yesterday's slot, we saw this. We gave you the cutoffs for Jamlal Bajaj as somewhere around 129, 130. For Simsri, it was around 127, and then the others were discussed. So today, because the exam was pretty easy, in my opinion, it will definitely go up. So for Jamlal Bajaj, the cutoff should be somewhere around 144, 145 today, right? So it's a good 10%, 11% increase from yesterday's scores. The simple reason being exam बहुत आसान आया था उसकी वजह से. So in all of these scores, you might see a little increase with respect to these percentiles. So at a score of 144 or 145, I would rather say एक range दे देनी चाहिए, ज्यादा बेहतर रहता है. So 144, 145 पे you can expect a Jamnal Bajaj call. Similarly at 141, 142 you can expect Simsri, and then V School, Pumba, and SIES and others. So these are our expected cutoffs for the today's exam. Okay. So that's all, guys. So if you have any questions, you can please ask us. That's all that we have from our side, right? And do like the session if you find it good enough. Though I see probably because of the delay, there are many people who are not able to discuss the questions, who probably would have wanted to. So the class delayed by 25-30 minutes, and because of which there was a problem here. But yes, you can put it in the chat section, right? In the comment section. So whatever questions come to your mind or you have a doubt in, you can just put them in the comment section. We would be happy to answer those. Okay. And that's all from my side. Yes, Nikita ma'am, कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं?
Prateek is complimenting you again, sir. Thank you, sir. कल के motivation से ये paper easy गया.
Motivation से कहाँ paper easy आता है?
4 times now.
But anyways, thank you, Prateek, and thank you everyone else. Thank you, guys. All slots done or one is left. I think today's evening slot would be left, Gaurav.
Yes.
We had 3 days and 6 slots, तो मेरे ख्याल से बचा हुआ है. But our final result would be out by September only. September 1st week, 2nd week तक जाके ही result आने वाला है.
Welcome, Muskan. Welcome all of you. And yes, all the very best for the results. And yes, if you have any queries later on, also you can post in the comment section, right? And yes, do subscribe to our channel, do like the session. I hope you found some value in it. And you can follow us on various social media platforms. We keep on posting important general knowledge related things there. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. Take care and have a bright future, guys. We'll keep meeting क्योंकि अब महाराष्ट्र CT वालों से कम मिलना होगा ना. When the exam is over, I don't know when would they meet us. So I hope you guys will stay connected with us through BYJU'S exam prep channel for the other sessions as well. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good day, guys.
Welcome, welcome, Gaurav. Welcome. Bye. Bye.
Have you stopped, ma'am?